What is today? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. I literally had to think. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest reality TV, Jeff Lewis Live, Jeff Lewis Extended, which he again, oh, my co-host Luna's coming in. Come on, Boo Bear. She can open the little lever. Okay. Come on, Luna. Okay, here she comes. Sorry. Come on, lay down. Yes, a good girl. Yes, a good girl. I don't know if y'all can see her. I don't think on this camera you can't see her. Okay, lay down, good girl. Lay down, Boo Bear. Thank you. Okay. We are definitely going to chat Vanderpump Rules from last night. So if you follow me over on Instagram, I posted about a super fun Galentine's that I went to last night. So I got home around 10-ish, I think, and then I watched, sorry, Lulu. This is the problem. Luna, can't go in the bathroom because I don't know what you'll eat. Come lay down with me. Come on. Come lay down. Come on. She's like, why can't I go in the bathroom and dig through the trash? I don't understand the problem. Oh my goodness. Okay. But when I got home, I was watching the Jeff Lewis video from last night, the commercials and the after show. And then I was just too tired. I didn't want to watch Vanderpump Rules. But I also, when I scanned, my social media, I was like, nobody was really talking about Vanderpump. And I'm like, I have a feeling it's going to be exactly what I said about episode 1 last week, where we've already seen everything that happens. Like everything, like now we know, because I looked up Sandoval's birthday last night or this morning when I was watching it, because he kept saying tomorrow is my actual birthday. It's July 7th. So we know this is now March, April, May, June, 3 months, barely. April, May, June. Yeah, it was the beginning of July. 3 months after Sandoval broke in early March. Okay, so it's still very fresh for everyone. Sandoval had already gone away and filmed that reality TV show that he was doing. He had come back. So I just feel like it's going to be everything that we've already seen. But since I was watching it the next day, I watched it on Peacock just out of ease instead of my recording on DirecTV. And then I see this show called Vanderpump Dogs. What is that? Is that a new show? Is that an old show I missed? I had sort of heard there was after shows. So apparently it's on the next day. So Wednesday. That's my problem, is I normally don't want to wait to watch Vanderpump Rules. I normally have been watching it in real time the same night that it was on. I just couldn't last night. So it's only 22 minutes. It's on Peacock, and it's also available at bravotv.com. So I'm assuming bravo.tv or bravotv.com is free, right? I don't know. I wrote down more notes about this 22-minute Vanderpump Rules after show than I did the whole hour of Vanderpump Rules. Like, I thought it was fascinating. So I don't know when they record it, but we know this is now February. They're talking about episodes. So the first, you haven't really missed anything. The first episode was apparently an overview of like Scandival and all that. I didn't even waste my time watching that. Episode 2 was about last night's episode. So I paid attention to who did the interviews together, who sat together. That to me is indicative of what I said last week, that Lala has teased a couple of times now that we're going to see that people have a changed mind about Ariana. And I think we saw this. So I've been saying all along, unpopular opinion, that, I don't know why everyone was going after Sandoval. I'm like, oh my God. Yes, he cheated. Yes, he cheated within a friend group. Yes, it was awful. They have all cheated to one degree or another. Okay, so we're going to get into it. But I do want to mention real quick, because I'm fascinated by this, that James is still so pissy that Tom remembers whenever he and Kristen were hooking up in their bed a week and a half before they were going to move in and be roommates, Tom and James, and they were using his own condoms to cheat together. Or I guess they'd been broken up, but they were whatever. But in looking at last night's show, and especially the Vanderpump Rules after show, the hatred, the feelings, the talking about for months. They I wrote it down. They financed this house in 2021 or 2022. I mean, there were lots of issues. The fact that Ariana had a legit boyfriend, this guy Dan, like 10 days after she and Tom broke up, tells you that relationship was donezo. I don't care that they still live together. They weren't legally married. They didn't have children together. Again, unpopular opinion. I just didn't love that, that James was like putting down, don't bring up the past. Don't bring up that Krista and I were cheating on each other or, hanging or having sex together when all y'all had just broken up. We are talking about the present. We are talking about how devastated me by dating my ex, Rachel. You had already moved on almost instantly. I think 2 weeks later with Allie, and you're still with her. Now you have a house with her and you're claiming she's the absolute love of your life. So, I mean, hypocrisy, at its finest, legit. Okay, let's get into it. Also, real quick, another unpopular opinion that my friends and I went to see Erica Jane perform Bet It All on Blonde, her opening weekend in Las Vegas. The 2-hour documentary comes out on Bravo March 6th. It is in my calendar as something to watch that night for sure. Let me know if you're going to be watching it. Okay, Vanderpump last night. Tell me what you thought. Are you like me and you're a little disappointed that everything you see, we've already seen on all the social medias, all the fan accounts, the Entertainment Tonight's, the TMZs, they've done podcasts about it. Like they need to have like a zip your shit until the episode actually airs, right? That would make more sense. Okay, so Tom comes in. I did see some talk about, I guess, Tom's assistant. Was her name Anna? I forget what her name was. Anyways, I guess she just gave notice this week. So maybe she's worked with him that long, but so awkward. I don't understand why she had to walk out to watch Ariana take Maya out to go to the bathroom. She was like, "Well, I guess I'll come with you." I mean, do they have some understanding that they can't, it's like a kid, they can't, almost like supervised watch, like you can't do anything with Maya alone, and I have to be with Tom when he's with the dog. Like, I don't even know what the hell was going on there. Super, super awkward. Uh, they do this party of Pump closing after 10 years. It was very sweet, but again, I just felt like we'd all seen it, right? Like we'd all seen the stories, we'd all seen the interviews and stuff. I even know what outfits they wore because all these shows or their social media will show what they're even wearing those days. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. They do bring up Graham. Obviously, in real time, we knew when that happened that Lisa Vanderpump has some role in getting Rachel and James's dog back to James Graham. So they mention that, but they don't show anything about it. Okay. One of the huge parts of the show, not the after show, because the after show brought up to me the financial part of this house dealing and that controversy. The controversy on episode 2 is about Tom's birthday party. So now we know for a long time, Ariana, we knew that she was more of an introvert than Tom, right? Tom loves to do stuff, loves to go out and hang out with people. He says many times he wanted to have parties or have people over, and she was always anti that. Well, now they're so mad at each other still that he wants to have a few people over for his birthday party, offers to get her a very nice hotel room. She says hell to the no, and basically says, "I will call the cops if it gets too loud." Even Lala couldn't stand beside that. Lala was like, "Well, tell me why he's not able to have a party in the house that now we know he has been paying the mortgage on maybe 100%." Like, I literally want a spreadsheet on what they owe, why they refinance. Did that benefit him to refinance to get money? Because I kind of heard something about this at the time. But regardless, she signed her name. So they're both on this refinance. Sometimes I think you can, and a mortgage person would know better. Sometimes you can refinance because the interest rates go down, or maybe your house is worth more, so you can get that mortgage PMI, payment mortgage insurance, taken off. Is that even still a thing? I'm not even sure. And sometimes you can refinance because you're taking money out. Like you need part of the profit of the house to use for other stuff, whether it's remodeling, uh, life, whatever. So I feel like we heard they refinanced so he could get cash out to use for Schwartz and Sandy's. If that's the case, oh, who is that? Okay. I've got the door open if you want to shut it. My daughter's stomping up the stairs from the gym. Um, so whether you whether they refinance for her benefit or his benefit only, it sounds like they both signed this refinance, so they're both in it, whether that put them more in debt to owe on this house or whether it made them in a better position if the interest rates went down. Does anyone know what it was with that, which one happened for that? So regardless, they kind of compromise. He can have people over, which, did anyone recognize any of the people? Granted, when the shit hits the fan, I can relate, Tom. When the shit hits the fan, people tend to scatter and not necessarily want to be associated. It's very hurtful. He's talked about this. So even whenever James agrees to stop by for an hour and maybe wanted to talk to him, Allie's like, I'm not going to go in because I've never really had a friendship with Tom. And also I'm somewhat close with Ariana. So I'm not going to disrespect for her by going to her ex-boyfriend's birthday party. I'm just going to wait out in the car, which made complete sense to me. But they also had somewhere to go. This falls the same night of this emo party that uh, Sheena and maybe Ariana and maybe Katie were all DJing. So it makes sense. They legit had somewhere else to go. But I'm just wondering, who is right? Did Ariana have a right, to say, knowing now that it has nothing to do, or at least Lala is saying, this has nothing to do. Everyone at the beginning was trying to convince me that California was different. If you leave the house, you lose your privilege. You lose. And I'm like, I don't know. That didn't make sense to me. All I knew was people I know that have divorced or separated or what have you, and somebody gets an apartment, whether it's whichever partner gets an apartment. Nobody gave up the right to that mortgage or the deed or the profit from that house. They still split it evenly. I think the fight is, now we know more details from this after show, that they had refinanced and put it in, the money was now coming out of Tom's account only and not this joint account that they had set up. So Ariana is now saying, which I'm sure their conversations were very limited and maybe only going through this, this assistant Anne, right? Which, she says her thumbs are fast, but maybe they're too fast. You know what I mean? Anyways, so he has like 12 people over they ended by midnight. They both apparently want the house. More than him wanting the house is her not wanting him to win and get the house. To me, I don't know why she would want to keep the house. To me, I wonder, and this is what I don't know, because obviously in the economy and real estate, we've heard about upside down. And I learned all of this from Gina. Remember Gina from the Real Housewives of OC? She was like the first, like 2008, that whole time. She was the first one to publicly or teach me about that people could have houses where you end up owing more because the house has gone down in value and you haven't put enough towards the profit, towards the equity. Is that what it is? Towards the equity. So more than anything, it sounds like maybe that's what it is. Maybe the house hasn't gone up in value enough and it doesn't make sense to sell now. To me, that's way more of a reason to not want to sell, but it seems way more emotional. The anger is definitely there on her side, which I absolutely understand. I do see both sides now. now you do have people finally saying, I felt like in the beginning, I was the only one saying, "Oh my God, like, it's a cheating situation." Like, even I felt like Lisa Vanderpump was like, "God, this happens." Like, even amongst friends, I've told y'all stories and y'all have told me stories where neighbors have had it happen, where kids go to school together. It's the neighbor down the street and somebody starts cheating, and then all of a sudden these kids are living with this family. And I mean, no cheating is a good situation at all, especially when you're on a reality TV show. You kind of set yourself up as like, I don't want to say they were the golden couple, but I think Lala has said they are the most of the couples of anyone that kind of put up a facade. They were the most different on air than off camera. Like, they definitely wanted this image that they were like best friends, in it for life, all this stuff. Because don't forget, they either cheated or kissed or something together when there was some Kristen overlap. So, you know, you lose them how you get them. I mean, I don't know. Crazy. Okay, so they're saying that Dan, when he comes, they have to spend money. Her boyfriend from New York, I think they're still together, right? He has to come in town. They have to um, stay in a hotel, I'm assuming. But to me, if she hasn't been paying anything or only some, because she says that he's not telling her proof of like, this is the cable bill, this is what it costs to mow the lawn, this is the pool cleaner guy. I mean, y'all, anyone that's a grown ass adult and has all these bills, they understand what they are. Even if you want to use the rationale that, he handled everything or his assistant handled everything and all you did was trust him, and you know a reasonable amount, right? Nobody's going to tell you the cable bill is $5,000 a month. So she would have to know a reasonable amount of what she's been paying him if they were truly halving all of this. So if and both of them have been traveling a shit ton. So that almost makes more sense to me, is why neither one would want to move out and get an apartment. Both of them were traveling, working, not even being in the house. So it made more financial sense that, first of all, they weren't even going to be roommates all that much, because each of them kind of were taking time away and working out of the house and out of LA. So that was kind of more of a benefit. So, anyways, what did you think of Schwartz and Sandy's? I'm kind of at odds, because I know it sounds like I'm defending Tom, but I'm just saying what I think. If Tom Sandoval was told literally by his business managers, look, you are shitty. You are like a shit mark on Schwartz and Sandy's. We do not want you coming in here. You're negative. People were being horrendous to the restaurant. They apparently weren't going. They were writing bad Yelp reviews. It was all terrible for this Scandival. So Tom at some point was like, okay, I'm going to take a few months off. And now it's like, okay, I'm trying to ease back in, bring some friends in, come to the business. And then his business partners were like, we will leave. I will leave if you come into the restaurant. So then Tom's like, well, shit, now I'm taking this personally. And I guess Schwartz is saying, which absolutely makes sense, I wanted you to bring something to the table, come up with some ideas, offer to pay for PR marketing out of your own pocket to help clean up this mess that you did. I don't know. And now we know he's sober, I guess. So, but we don't know what Tom's mindset was. I think even on does he still have a podcast? What's his podcast name? I forgot. I know he's kind of redecorated a few times, but anyways, I think he said a month or two ago that he even had thoughts of like ending it all throughout all of this. So, we know he wasn't in the right place. Clearly him and Rachel end up breaking up, maybe not on good terms. I'm not even sure they actually had a final breakup or if it just kind of ended. Um, if it did, we never heard all the details about that, but he definitely talks about being in love with her and such. So, I don't know. I just feel like he was probably in a situation where he didn't feel like he could make the right decision at all. He was trying to come back and be supportive. I think personally, when it first opened, before we knew of all this nonsense, I loved personally seeing pictures of people at Schwartz and Sandy's with, Schwartz and Sandoval on each side of them. I was like, oh my God, they're at the restaurant all the time. This is so cool. Those are the types of things that are going to make people post a picture. Then when they do, or they tag Sandoval, they tag Schwartz, then this is before Sandoval, people are going to be like, oh, I want to go to Schwartz and Sandy's because I might see Tom Sandoval. I might see Tom Schwartz. So Tom Schwartz was there a lot afterwards, and he is very much a Virgo, as Allie apparently is an astrologer and has a business now and says she is the most Virgo. He is the most Virgo of everyone, complete people person, people pleaser, and he is the perfect person. He's kind of gotten some backlash now because everyone's saying he's fake. I don't know. It hasn't all come out in the wash yet. But, basically he is such a person that wants to be at the restaurants, take pictures with people, come off as the nice guy. Now, y'all know I did not like how he came off, especially at Sheena's wedding, the divorce from him and Katie. But also Katie did nothing perfect either. Like Tequila Katie, don't forget about that. Don't forget about her bitchy self. Which then she was trying to come off as all whatever. Tom did cheat a lot. I mean, he definitely cheated a lot. I think she was kind of donezo with that. Sheena has talked about this a lot recently, but this was the first time they really got into this postpartum OCD that she's had. Never really thought of a name for it, but it's absolutely a thing with us parents. I don't know if it's more so moms, more so dads. I don't know, but she definitely, after the baby was born, she had this severe issue with being able to let anyone else take care of the baby. So now she appears to be maybe 2.5 in this, last summer. I'm not really sure exactly how old she was there. And they're finally trying to get, she's had a counselor. They're trying to get this girl to help babysit on nights out that they need to do, like emo nights and work. I mean, they do work a lot, but also she and Brock need to go out as couples. She needs to go out and be out with friends. I think she always felt comfortable with her mom watching the baby, or and why is her name going blank? What is the freaking baby's name? Somebody tell me. Can't think of her freaking name. Anyways, not Ocean. Oh my God, Sheena, and she freaking has Instagram and everything. Remember, Tom blocked her. Anyways, but it sounds like they're working through that, which I'm happy for, because I think a lot of people have that issue with not trusting somebody. And then she said it was just debilitating. And Brock even says she couldn't even do the basic things around the house because everything, this OCD took over her. And it was, well, what if this happens? And what if this happens? And then nothing ended up getting done. So one of the big issues was not letting other people, Summer, thank you, was not letting other people besides Brock, probably besides her mom, take over and help with the baby. So we've kind of all talked about it, but I do want to know what you think. Does James have a right to be equally as upset? I'm sorry. Does Tom Sandoval have a right to be equally upset and whatever as James feels about Tom being with Rachel? I mean, they've all cheated with everyone. So, they want to act like this is no big deal. But at the end of the day, every cheating situation is a big deal. When you're in it, you're in it. And even though it happened years ago and it wasn't 10, like, James was talking about, oh, that was 10 years ago. I'm sitting there doing the math going, no, that wasn't 10 years ago. But I just feel like he has a right also. Tom has a right to be, pissed off at James for screwing Kristen in his bed with his condoms. Not even going to talk about James peeing in the bushes. That was so dumb. James is like, I guess we met him when he was 19. He was so fiery, such an attitude, clearly an alcoholic. Just all these allegations are now coming out that maybe there might be some physical violence. Maybe Rachel is going to talk about stuff. Maybe Kristen has something to say. I wonder if Allie has something to say. I'm curious what ends up coming out about that. Okay, like I said, the after show is 22 minutes long. There's a shit ton of commercials. and you cannot fast forward through the commercials. So I watched it on Peacock. It's so good. Like I said, the producers ask these, like, deeper questions off camera. So, Lala, Sheena, and James are together, okay? Tom Sandoval, Tom Schwartz are together. Ariana and Katie are together. You can definitely see, just like on the episode where Lala is having, lunch or whatever at this smoothie shop, peach something or other, it's all peaches or something, and she says, "Why is it a problem for him to wanna have a birthday party? Like, why is this a problem?" Like, that takes some balls to ask Ariana because she was, like, scorned woman, everyone was, like, kissing her butt, and she could do no wrong. She was the cheated on one, what have you. Um, but you can tell now Lala is even going against Sheena in what they're saying about, like, this whole Ariana thing with the bills. She's bringing up that it's not true that if you desert the house, you don't get any of the money, which never made sense to me anyway. So I'm so glad they um brought that up. So in 2021 is when they refinanced. But we just don't know why. We don't know what that was. On this though, you've got to go watch it, by the way. You've got to. I think it comes out every Wednesday. So you've got to wait for it, but it's on Bravo TV or Peacock. Ariana says, "Well, I had to be a raging bitch or I was going to be walked over." So I don't think this relationship was very good for a very long time. They bring up issues that they've had for years. Tom talks about she had very specific ideas of how they could spend quality time together. He says it was like taking a walk with the dog Maya at 7:15 p.m. around the neighborhood. I mean, very specific. He was very adventurous, and this is where relationships often have issues. He says she fell in love with me because I was very adventurous, always up for something fun. And then at the end of our relationship, she despised me because I was adventurous and I was always up for something fun. So maybe she thought he would become more of an introvert, want to stay home like she does. Apparently not. So that wasn't going to work out. They talked about doing mushrooms together. I don't know what that was about because I've never done mushrooms. I know Tom and Tom, I think, have done mushrooms together and admitted it. So maybe that's some bonding thing that I'm not aware of, but he clearly wanted to do mushrooms with her and she didn't want to. So anyways, he just wanted to create memories with her, and her idea of making memories with him was very different, which is great. That's not great. That's a reason people need to break up. But as bad as it is, some people make the bad decision to not. He says he tried to end it and she wouldn't let him end it. Who knows? Only those two know what's true, and there's probably a third story that's somewhat more of the truth in the middle, right? But uh he ends up falling in love with Raquel, and not ending it with Ariana. So that obviously wasn't a good thing. Why was so Schwartz is, like, staring at his hands the whole time. I don't know if he was, like, picking at a piece of skin, but multiple times they literally show him, like, obsessing over his hands. I'm like, "Oh my god, dude." It's very good. Very, very worth a watch. Let's see what y'all's me and my oh, wait, what? Tiffany Chump. Okay, tell me more about mushrooms. Is it literally mushrooms? Is it a pill? Is it a capsule? Is it a Me and my husband okay, my husband and I do mushrooms every Sunday on the couch. How long does it last? What if there's an emergency? What if you gotta take your dog to the vet? What if the neighbor need like, how much does it just relax you? Does it make you out of your mind? Does it depend on what mushrooms you take? What quantity you take? Oh my god, I have so many questions. Call me. I wanna 2 hours. It's a chocolate. Oh, we've heard of chocolate mushrooms on Jeff Lewis Live. Oh, that's interesting. Nicola, I can't work out the next day after mushrooms. Why? Does it make you lethargic or, like, tired? What is it one of those that make I always hear that, like, pot makes you laugh. I guess everything explains or everything affects people different ways. Oh, it makes you relax and giggle. Oh, that's a good thing then. It's like weed, but less potent. Okay. But it's in a chocolate? I mean, I've eaten a lot of chocolate today. Valentine's chocolate. Okay, totally lethargic. I guess I'm lethargic enough on some Sunday afternoons. That's a good day to do it though, Sunday afternoon. Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. Oh my gosh, okay, anyone else do mushrooms? Well, maybe they don't want to admit it because some people have their real name on YouTube, you know what I mean? Um, oh my god, I love that. Well, I clearly don't do mushrooms because I don't know anything about it. Body pump would be extra hard to do. Yeah, I mean, on my best day, if I go 3 to 5 days without doing body pump, it feels like the first time ever. Like, my body feels like, "What the hell are you lifting? You've never lifted this weight before. What are you doing?" I feel all tight, not stretched out. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get into today's Jeff Lewis Live. Chaz Dean was on. He is so cool, so nice. Doug Buden was on. Um, Jeff announces multiple times today. I won't repeat it. All the details about speed dating, where, when, what time, buy a ticket, everything. Somebody has already I messed my thing up. Sorry. Sorry. Um Anyways, somebody has already reached out to me that they are gonna go. So, shout out to anyone looking for a man next week. Let me know how it goes. I hope everyone meets their Valentine because it's the day before Valentine's. So maybe that will give everyone a date for the next day. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's Chaz's assistant, Jaren. Is that the name they were saying? He collects these Ariel dolls. He has almost 500 of them, but they're worth like $200 each. That's like the cost of an American Girl doll. That's crazy. Um, he's gotta have money to buy these, and he's gonna have insurance. Um, okay, did I mess up? Are we still on? Somebody comment that everything is good because I messed up my thing. Uh, yeah, let me know. Um, Anyways, chazdean.com gives 25% off everything. JL25 is the code. It's fine. Thank you. Um, he talks about everything is on sale. I don't really know till when, but everything that's not already on clearance. Talks about this. I guess it sounds like so my daughter, one of my kids, got a Dyson, this little I think they're normally $599. I would say it's a simple blow dryer, but it's like Chaz Dean's where it's got all these accessories. It's meant to do all these different things to your hair, what have you. Ours was $100 off, so it ended up being 500 instead of 600. His name is Annette has met him. Jaron. It's spelled with a G. See, I wrote down Jaran because I'd never heard of the name. Garrin is what it is. Um, Oh, we're definitely gonna talk about that. Michelle says, "Do you think MJ is in trouble?" I don't know. I mean, I don't know all the details, so we don't know. And how did that person know? I guess I never even knew. See, I'm not on Poshmark. I used to sell my kids' clothing on Facebook when they were little, like boutique little clothes. But all these other secondary and a little bit of eBay, but eBay takes a fee. I never got onto these Poshmark and there's another one, but people sell like clothes and stuff on there. And I knew the Kardashians had Kardashian Closet. We clearly know Kim Zolciak sells her shit. I've known Bethany Frankel has sold her stuff for a long time. So um, I didn't know that all these celebrities might be on Poshmark. And it's definitely her name. I, of course, I Googled Poshmark and then Mercedes Javid. I mean, I don't think it's fake. I think it's really her, but can people put up a fake? I guess you can say I don't know. I don't even know if it's her. Who knows? Who knows? But somebody called in about it. Okay. So they talk about this. I didn't know the guy was 21. So this guy I've seen on like TMZ or something, he is tracking uh Taylor Swift's private jets. And she's saying she sent him a cease and desist because it's causing stalking issues. Like people are knowing exactly, I guess with a private jet, he's tracking exactly when she takes off, when she lands, in what city, what have you. So this could be for personal and professional stuff. So, if she's got a concert in Houston, we probably can assume a private jet of hers is going to land in Houston somewhere. And if you know how to track all that junk and you waste your time doing it, I guess you might know. Maybe he has an account where he's doing this, and it seems like his intent is to talk about her, like, her footprint of, like, her carbon footprint of what she's doing and how much she's using private jets and such. But either way, it does sound kind of creepy. I didn't know that you can also track ships. So Doug talked about tracking his friend but that's different. Tracking a friend is different than tracking and posting about every city that she's going to be in if she's not announcing it in exactly what time. Now, to me, Jeff Lewis himself talks about if he wants somebody to show up. He was super vague until today about the speed dating. But I guess if anyone was in LA or wanted to be in LA, they could probably narrow things down. I don't know. They had said it was a speed dating company. We know that his pre-BravoCon party in 2022, he was very clear about not saying where it was going to be at. But MJ did not say it was going to be his party, but MJ made it clear on her podcast, hey, if anyone wants to see all of these Bravo celebrities, this is the rooftop bar to go at. So we knew, based on listening to MJ saying that on a Monday, people knew where to go, and lots of people showed up to do that. That ended up being where Jeff Lewis was having, which kind of is weird now because MJ, I would assume, was invited personally. Were she and Jeff that good of friends then? I think they were in 2022. I don't know. Anyways, but she had told everyone, her fans, on the Till the Dirt podcast, where to go to see all the Bravo celebrities. That ended up being where Jeff's party was, but he was very clear, and he wasn't saying where his party was. He wasn't giving it out because he didn't want people to come, right? But a lot of times he will say, hey, I'm going to be at this event. Hey, I'm going to be at the airport. Hey, I'm going to be at, Taco Bell or whatever. So if he says it, I think he is okay with fans maybe showing up. This whole thing with this guy and the flights is she has had stalkers in the past, and now he is letting, I guess, every trip know. So maybe if she goes to visit her boyfriend, maybe they know when that thing is landing. But why is that information public? Like, if it's a private jet, I would think these rich people would not want that information public. It's not like a Southwest Airlines. You can get on the app and see a flight from Houston to New York took off, instead of 10:22, it took off at 10:38 or something. That's more private information, right? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so I guess this is a common thing. Chris says people track tons of private jets and post it. I mean, it's a hobby, I guess. Maybe that's a hobby that Jeff could have. I don't think he wants that. Okay, so I have met Chaz Dean's 2 puppies, Bella and Riley. They are the sweetest dogs, very soft. So whatever they're using on them, Win Pets, I'm sure works. But he is getting 2 new puppies today named River and Rain. I think they are relatives of Bella and Riley, or maybe Hunter. We know, if you follow him on Instagram and TikTok, he is very into his puppies and dogs. So he will give them the best of the best. And I'm sure we'll be seeing on Fridays in the summer that he'll be giving them baths and stuff. Definitely talked about Madonna. I get to go to Madonna. She was supposed to come in September. Now she rescheduled because of her, near death thing in last summer. She's coming at the end of March in Houston, so I will see her then. Okay. So at the very end of the show, this caller calls in and says MJ is posting Win products on Poshmark. So we don't know. I don't know anything about that. I did look. Where is it at? This is one of my Win candles. I think they retail for $75. Sorry, my dog must have a Amazon delivery. Anyways, they retail for $75, but a lot of times they're on sale for 40% off. So I know he gave us 1 candle, and then I bought another candle. I think I don't know. I don't know how much free stuff these people get. Maybe she didn't get it from Chaz Dean. Maybe she got it at these events that maybe he put. I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that stuff. Like if she doesn't want it, how much stuff can you give away? Like I don't even know that she has an assistant to give it away for. You know what I mean? Yes, Tiffany Chomp. We didn't have time to talk about that, but Whisper Wednesday on Andy Cohen Live. Tiffany Chump says the person, I think his name was, oh crap, what was his name? They definitely said his name. The guy that won Madonna tickets on Andy's show today was so hilarious. It was a banker, and so he was whispering because he's at his job. Sorry. Sorry, Luna is just not going to. Was it Paul? Okay, it was caller Paul. Oh, yes, because then John Hill said, Better Call Paul is going to be his new podcast name. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Okay, on the after show was, I think the first time they've been together again. Two straight guys, as Doug would say, Jamie Kennedy and Ryan Bailey. Jeff's mom. I don't even know how this came up. Why did it come up at the very beginning of the show that Jeff was saying his mom never liked to cook and she would drive through the drive-through? Sounded relatable to me. Well, they had 3 boys, and she says he said a lot of times she would drive through 2 different fast food places. I mean, isn't that common? We totally go to 2 different places if we need to. Now, we're a family of 7 before everybody went away to college, but when everyone's home and we're getting fast food, I try not to do it, but I've definitely done it. When they were little, yeah, as they get older, it's kinda like, I'm going to one place. If you can't go get it yourself. 4 of them have cars. So, I don't know, it sounded unreasonable to some of them that Jeff's mom would go to 2 different fast food places for the 3 boys, and I'm like, "I don't know." I think a mom always wants to make their kids happy, and if that's getting them the right fast food, the hardest part the easiest part, I should say, let me put it in positive ways. The easiest thing about having one child is that there's no arguing. What restaurant do you want to go to? What movie do you want to see? What kind of vacation do you want? Uh, would you want to watch this show right now? What do you want for dinner? There's no arguing. Remember the elbowing in the back seat? She's on my side. He's touching me. You can't do that. If the lamp is broken, there's only one kid that can break the lamp. There's no one else you can blame it on, right? Um, but I think with 3 kids, there's gonna be multiple fast foods at once, and I didn't think that it was that big of a deal. You think Tiffany says Jeff was clearly spoiled. I think they all 3 were spoiled. I mean, I think they've admitted they had a great life and, but I don't know that it's spoiled in a bad way. ALW says, wait, I love to cook. I'm a mom chef. I love that. Um, oh, we're not even talking about that girl. That girl. What else? Oh, did y'all hear? Jeff said he loves the extended show more. He feels like he's more relaxed. He can let other people lead and he's just kind of there and it's more enjoyable. He was on for almost the whole show today again. Again. But again, I think he said this today's Wednesday. It feels like 3 days in a row he has said that his family law attorney has called. I don't know if that's a joke. I don't know if she's forgetting. I know she called during the after show, and I don't think she realized, oh, he was still working. So I don't know. Oh, I love that. I'm an only child. I used to blame the dog. I mean, I guess if you have an animal, you can blame the animal for sure. Anyways, uh, my son is an only child, and he would blame the cat. But you know what I'm saying? With siblings, there's definitely a fight. You definitely have to compromise on. Please, for the love of God. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've thought to my brain, please let them agree on what food they want for dinner tonight. Just let us all say McDonald's or let everyone say Cane's. Now they're in a Cane's phase, even pizza. One will like one pizza over another place. Oh, we want this restaurant called Center Court. Oh, we want Pizza Hut. Oh, we want what's the pizza one? Little Caesars. I mean, even pizza, the brands my kids can't agree on. Ugh. Ooh, Jack in the Box egg rolls. Okay, now I want that. There was, so much good food at this Galentine's that I went to last night. It made me think because there was some egg rolls type thing there that was so good. Anyways. Well, thank you so much for joining live. It is always way more fun to chat with you. If you're watching on the replay, if you're listening as a podcast, hello, hello, hello. Please make sure to subscribe, follow, hit the follow button as a podcast. Give me a 5-star rating and review. Make a comment, all the things I would really appreciate. All my social media is under Sarah from Texas. We do an Ask Me Anything. If you're a subscriber on Instagram, it's $4.99 a month, or on YouTube every Sunday at 7 Eastern. So join us there. And I forgot what else I was going to say. See you tomorrow. Who's tomorrow? Oh, Erin Leachy. Oh, y'all know I love Erin Leachy. Anyways, who else is on with her? I can't think of who's on with her. Erin Leachy, and I don't know, but if you follow her on Instagram like I do, she's posting with lots of housewives. And she didn't post with all of the Beverly Hills, but Heather Dubrow was pictured with her with some of the Beverly Hills girls. That was kind of interesting. Anyways. Okay. Bye, y'all. Thank you so much, Cecile.